Now you gotta do it all over.
Okay, so it is May 22nd, and we are at week 5 with Janelle and Molly talking about recruiting how-tos and overcoming objections. So with that being said, hello everybody, and you guys are off and running. Take it away.
All right. Thank you for joining us. My name is Molly Lujan, and I'm an advanced director here in Savage, Minnesota, part of the Twin Cities. And I was not supposed to be presenting tonight because I had a party, but unfortunately my host's dad passed away this weekend. So that got canceled, obviously. And so I rescued Janelle, and I'm going to do the presentation for us. So let me share. Here we go. Okay, can you guys see this? Hopefully. Come on, computer. My computer is slower than slow.
Molly, it says it's starting. Just give it some time. There it goes.
Can you see it?
Yep, you're good. It still looks individual slides, not this presentation, so click on that.
Okay.
All right, you're good.
There we go. Okay. So oh man, how do I get you guys back on so I can see you? Participant. There we go. Okay, I like to see who I'm talking to here. Okay. But I want to go back. Well, whatever. We're going to be talking about objections with recruiting tonight. And I haven't been on the past few weeks, but from the sounds of it, it sounds like you guys have done quite a bit of chatting about recruiting. And so I'm just going to kind of maybe, if I can figure out how to get my next slide here. Okay, so I'm going to talk about when, I don't know what is going on with my computer here. Okay, when you are in the midst of talking with someone about joining your team, and what happens when you get, I need to think about it, and all the other objections that come with joining your team. So when you get the answer, I need to think about it, really this is quite good because it means that it's not a no. So they just want more information, they need more time, maybe they're going to go talk to their spouse, maybe they want to talk to their friends. They just need to think about it for a while, which is totally okay. Me personally, when they say that, I kind of try to get a timeline from them of, so, it's Friday, should we chat again on Sunday? And obviously the sooner you can talk to them, the better it is, because if you give them a week to think about it, more than likely unfortunately that turns out to be a no sometimes. So you kind of want to stay ahead of it and stay present and stay in front of them, I think, but not where it's pushy or you're annoying them or anything like that. But just, why do they need to think about it? And I think one of the most important things is finding out their why. Like, why do they even want to think about doing Pampered Chef? Is their reasoning because they want more money? Is their reasoning because they just want something to be doing? Do they want to earn the product? Are they interested in the Disney trip? If you can find out their why, you can usually help them talk through whatever these objections are that you might hear. Okay, so let's go to the next screen. Okay, so here are some of the objections we're going to talk about. And I have a slide for these, so I'm not going to read through all of them right here. Okay, the first one is, I don't have time, I am too busy. Now, quite frankly, people, we're all busy. I don't know too many people that just sit on their hindies and do nothing all day. So what is something, when someone says this to you, what is something we can say back to them or start a conversation with them about? Anyone? Any ideas? Okay, so at this point, I would, I'd ask them, what are you busy with? What are you doing? What does your day look like? Is it because they have 5 kids or a newborn, or they're carting kids back and forth, or they work a full-time job, or maybe they have activities in the evening? And again, when you find out what their schedule is looking like, Then think about all the people you know that do Pampered Chef. Is there someone that's like them that you can then say, oh, I know, I have 4 kids too, and they range from age 4 to 15. And our schedule's super busy too, but I really enjoy Pampered Chef. And so this is how I try to fit it into my schedule and what it looks like for me, or something like that. So always acknowledge what the objection is. I totally understand that you're busy. I get that. But then find out how they could still make Pampered Chef work for them with that. Does that make sense? Okay, next one. Kids are too young or too many kids. Whoops, go back. Back. Here we go. So here is a picture of my family, and we have 4 children, which is a lot. People think 4 is a lot, I guess. I just listened to a training today from Cami Cruz, who was our top points achiever for Hawaii, and she has 5 kids. So she sells $30,000 in a month, and she's figuring it out. I have 4 kids, and I'm figuring it out. So I think it probably comes down to time management, and obviously having a spouse that's helpful works. But I have my next story I'll share with you will show how you can get it done as well. So I don't know. I don't think kids should be an excuse personally, but I think you just got to find out. Uh, I don't know. It's so different with everyone, but again, I do believe Pampered Chef can fit into any family, any style, no matter what. So it's just really talking them through that. Any comments on that at all? There's a chat going. I don't know what the chat says. I don't know how to read anything. Okay, we're going to just keep going on. So I work a full-time job. Here is my good friend Taylor. And this can kind of go back to the previous objection of I have a lot of kids. But Taylor's actually a single mom of 2 kids, I believe age 7 and age 3. And she works a full-time job, and she just joined Pampered Chef in January. And she has submitted over $4,000 in sales each month that she's been a Pampered Chef consultant. So she's mainly doing that through virtual parties, and she has done a few cooking shows as well. But she's just an example of how you can work a full-time job and still make Pampered Chef work for you. And another example, I have a sister director who also works a full-time job, and she's a director. She has earned incentive trips, and she's made Pampered Chef work for her the way she wants it to work. So I just think if you can find different people that you can give examples of and let people know that there are Pampered Chef people that work full-time jobs and they still do the business. So depending if they want to do 1 or 2 parties a month or try to do 10 parties a month, it's still totally doable. Is there any questions or comments? Nope. Okay. Next, I don't know enough people. I get this one a lot. And I always respond back. I'm like, do you know anyone who eats and cooks? Because really, I say that to them all the time, because we literally have the whole entire market with Pampered Chef. We can sell to the old, we can sell to the young, we can sell to men, we can sell to women. Everybody eats and everybody cooks. Even if they say they don't cook, they still are making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They're still doing ramen noodles. They're still doing a bowl of cereal. They're doing something. So this is also where you need to coach them that they might have to go outside of their box of comfort and think of, maybe you really only talk to 5 people a week, but 50 people. So ask all 50 people if they're interested in doing a party. So I always start them with their Frank's list, the friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, your kids' friends' parents, if you have a spouse or significant other, their friends, their coworkers, and try to think of 10 people in each of those categories. Right there will give you 60 people that you can ask. And a great example is if you've listened to Stephen, I call him Stephen Joseph because that's what he is on Facebook, but Japowski, I think is his last name. He comments on when he first joined Pampered Chef, he literally just went and green dotted people on Facebook. He couldn't get any of his sisters to book a party for him. His first parties were with a girl that he met at a wedding 3 years ago. And you know how you just become friends with people you kind of hit it off with. So she hosted. And then I think he said someone that he did theater with either in high school or college. That they're not people he talks to every day or maybe even once a year, but they're people he asked and they did a party for him. So, you know, I think there's definitely a tactful way to ask people, and you just need to train them on that. And I think you just have to ask. I could share many stories of people who I haven't talked to in a very long time, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe they want to host. And it actually happened last spring when I was doing a booking blitz. A girl that I met 10 years ago, we used to scrapbook together and we hadn't talked to each other in quite some time, but I'm like, you know what? I've never asked her. So I said, hey, Andrea, would you like to host a Pampered Chef party? She's like, actually, I've really been thinking about doing that. Yeah, I would love to. And so she hosted in July, and I literally probably have done at least 10 parties from her one party. So you just don't know, and you just have to ask. And so many people have that fear of not asking, but if you want a job, you have to ask. So you just have to coach them through this. I don't know enough people. They do. Everyone they know.
One of the things that I'll say is it's not just who you know, but it's who those friends know.
Exactly.
Because that's where the magic starts happening, is once you get outside of your circle of friends. And the people that are the very closest to you are probably the least likely to do parties for you. It's the people that you just kind of know.
Yep.
Just like what you're talking about.
I would totally agree. Absolutely. Actually, from
when
my friend.
When I hear that, I think sometimes what people are really saying is, I don't have enough friends and I need more. Basically, when they tell me they don't know enough people, I say, oh, how about your people? Do they know people? Well, I just moved to town that might lead to. I do a lot of vendor events. And they say to me, I don't know enough people. And my answer to that is, I joined Pampered Chef so I could meet a new circle of people. And I've really reached out. Is that something you're interested in? And that's how I got a recruit.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah. You know, because a lot of times when people are saying one thing to you, what they're really meaning is something else. I have 800 friends on Facebook, but none of them would buy from me. I don't know. I think you do, you know, or I think we can help you find some friends on that. So.
And I will tell you, Janelle is so good at her wording and recruiting. So if you really ever want some help with that, go to her because she's pretty phenomenal at recruiting. So
you just think song and a prayer.
What?
Every month is a song and a prayer. You set it up and you think it's all one way, but it always comes down to that last week push, you know.
People need to have a deadline. Like,
this
is your last day for the 50% rebate. You better join. No, okay. But you guys, this one that I don't know enough people, this is just something they need to be coached through, and you can help them. Okay, next. Okay, so I get this a lot. So I do a lot of cooking parties, and I love cooking parties. My gift is teaching. So I have no problem being in front of people. I like making people laugh. I like to have a good time. So I get this a lot of, I couldn't stand in front of a crowd and talk like you. And I'm like, well, I'm not asking you to be like me. You know, and I will be honest, my very first party was with a bunch of my teacher friends. And it was so nerve-wracking, and it's harder to do a party in front of people you know, I think. It's a lot easier to go in front of a crowd of people you don't know. So I always tell them when they say this that it just takes practice, and you'll get more comfortable with it the more that you do. But some people really truly just could never see themselves in front of a group of people. So that's where the virtual party comes into play. And I kind of, you can propose it as, are you on Facebook anyway? Are you, what are you doing during the day or in the evening, or are you scrolling? Well, why not set up a party and make some money while you're doing it? There's so many with the scheduling websites for you. And like, I actually just talked to a host today that just did a virtual party for me. She was kind of guinea pig for a new party theme I was doing. And I commented on how I have a website scheduler I use. She's like, oh my gosh, you do? I was sitting there thinking, how in the world is she posting all of this during the day with all of her kids and da-da-da-da? And I'm like, oh no, honey, I have that all scheduled. I could be out at the park and my parties are going on. And so like, you got to tell people about that, because people really do think you're sitting there at your computer scheduling posting all those. So you got to tell them it's pretty simple to do once you get your system down to make this work. And there's so much great training out there for them to be successful in virtual parties. So it's just, this objection is just walking them through. And sometimes I think as a leader, you can kind of see when someone might do better with a virtual party, because you can see that they're quiet, or they do get super nervous in front of people. But then bring them to cooking parties with you and just help them get exposed to those parties and show them that they really can do it. So but if they don't want to be in front of people, there's always the virtual parties they can do. Any comments on this one? All right. Next. I thought this was kind of funny. Oh crap, I keep pushing the wrong thing. Okay, so I don't know why all this. Okay, I don't know how to cook, and I say, neither do I. I don't really like to cook myself, but when I have the right tools in the kitchen, it makes it a lot easier. So I don't know if this is true or not. I just Googled and I found this image, but it says psychology says girls who don't know how to cook will definitely get a successful life, which is why there are so many people successful in Pampered Chef. I thought that was kind of funny. Sorry. But I'll be honest, I have 4 kids and 3 of them barely eat anything I ever cook, and then that just ticks me off, and then I don't want to cook at all, so it's frozen pizzas every night over here. It's ridiculous. But when I can have the correct food in my kitchen and I have the tools to do what I need to do, like I just got a KitchenAid in November for my birthday, and oh my gosh, it makes it so fun to make frosting, and like it's the right tools to get that stuff done, which is why I think Pampered Chef needs to partner with KitchenAid, but that's a whole other thing. But when you have the right tools, when you have good pots and pans, when you have great knives, like it's a lot more fun to be in the kitchen with that. And I will always share, like, there's a lot of things I've learned about cooking since I have been with Pampered Chef. I feel a lot more confident in putting certain foods together, or adding in spices, or knowing that, basil can go with mozzarella and tomatoes, or, it's just stuff that I didn't know before I joined Pampered Chef and tried all these recipes and different things. So I totally get it when people say, I don't know how to cook. And I'm like, this is a great business for you then, because you're going to learn and you're going to be able to help others as well. So that's kind of how I just kind of laugh along with them and agree. So, it's however you want to. Oh, and my advanced director has been selling for 20 years and she hates cooking. And there's a lot of times I'm at her house and she has no clue what she's doing. And she's successful. She's been with Pampered Chef for 20 years. So, and I think there's someone else that's high up in the company that has commented on that they really don't care to cook either.
I think there are a lot of people that really don't like to cook. Yeah. And I tell a story about a girl that started along the same time as me, and she was like a sister director, and she caught her oven mitt on fire at her first party. And I said, "No, surely you wouldn't do that, you know?"
Hey, I've totally burnt
But-
bacon at a party too. It was horrible. I was doing it in the rock crock, not thinking about
Oh,
how
wow.
hot the rock crock gets, and you take it off the burner and it still keeps cooking. It was horrible. But,
Oh, wow.
you know,
I burn the marshmallows on the s'more thing every single time underneath the broiler. And then I
Yeah,
demonstrate
who knew they were
nicely
combustible, you know?
shave it off, and then it's fine. But because everyone's broiler is different, and their oven.
right.
So,
Just remember, people pay extra for flambe.
yeah,
That is true. That
I
is true.
hope
That's good.
so. Yeah.
So, you know, when people say this, just take stories that you've heard or stories that you have and just make them feel like it's okay that you don't know how to cook or you don't like to cook, or it's fine. You'll be fine. Just look at Molly. She's doing it. Okay. All right. I don't have money for that kit. Oh, crap. This is a really good one, and one that comes up a lot. So obviously the first thing you can do is you could offer them to host a party. And so like the $109 kit, I would say, would you be able to afford $59 towards a kit? Because we could do a party and I could help you earn the $50 kit credit, and then we could apply that towards it, and would that help? Or, you know, I will say, you know, if you can get the $109 and we start your launch party right away, I can help you earn that money back. And especially if it's something where we can submit it by the 15th, I'm like, I can help you get that money by the 22nd. Would that be helpful? I've even suggested before, you know, especially if it's kind of with the younger people, you know, just out of college or whatever. There's people that struggle with money all the time. I mean, we've had our moments for sure. But, you know, can you borrow it from someone and then with your first commission check, pay them back? So, you know, I try to talk them through it and explain to them that more than likely they're going to earn that $109 in their first party. And I use my example of when I joined, the kit was $89. And I have no idea. What are you doing with all that? Don't. Sorry, my husband needs to get her. She has like spices down here and that can be bad. But I went with the $89 kit because I couldn't afford the other kit at that time. There was only 2 kits. And so I joined on a Sunday, and that Friday night I did my first party and I made $130. So I share that story, and I always say I really have never been in the red with Pampered Chef since my first party, because I made my money back and I just make money now. So, you know, I think it's just kind of really talking to them. And again, finding out, oh, I have an extra apostrophe in there. Finding out, you know, is it they just don't want to spend the money? Do they really not have the money? And it's kind of just talking them through it. Any other opinions?
Well, and you know, a lot of times people will talk about, you know, have a garage sale. Do you have something you can sell on a online,
Mm-hmm.
you know, site to be able to get the money that you need? And everybody's got some junk at their house that they need to get rid of, and somebody's going to buy it. So
Right. I just sold $50 in kids' clothes on last Friday, so it's, you can find it. Hold on, I got to see what she's doing. Honey, we don't color in that book. Okay. All right.
Hey, what just happened?
Okay, next. All right, this one, I won't tell you what I really want to do when I hear this comment, but my spouse doesn't want me to do this. This just irks me, and it makes me want them to join even more because I want them to prove that they can do it. So I will be honest, my husband has totally talked to husbands before. And it could go either way. It could be a wife telling a husband, I don't want you to do this, vice versa. Normally we're dealing with husbands that don't want their wives to do this. And I have had husbands come to the house, and the 4 of us have sat and chatted, and the husbands asked deep questions. And Steve supports my business 110%. He's my biggest advocate. I will tell women, do you want my husband to call your husband and talk to him, answer any questions? It just infuriates me when husbands are not supportive about it, because one of the reasons why I am so passionate about Pampered Chef is because the sky is the limit and there's nobody ever telling us no, ever. I mean, I can go to Jean Jonas and say, I want to be an executive. I need to make $10,000 a month. She's like, all right, let's do it. And she's going to help me do it. Like, how many jobs can you go to where they're that supportive to help you go as high as you can go? And I think that's one of the reasons why I just love this company, and I try, to explain that to people that are thinking about Pampered Chef. And so when I hear a woman who's so excited to join, and the next day she comes to me and says, my husband won't let me do this. It just makes me mad. So, it gets to the point where there's not really much we can do, because unless he will be willing to talk to us and we can help answer any questions, that would be my biggest advice. What does anyone else think about this? Or what have you done? Oh, Janelle, you're muted.
So I never really, I just grabbed the kit. I think you guys all know that. I just grabbed it online. I'm like, I like that stuff. We had just married off our daughter and we were pretty broke. And so my whole plan was to get the big kit and then keep what I liked and then give the rest away for presents. That was the original plan. However, I never really asked my husband about it.
I don't know why people ask their husband. That's
why you asking? That's what I would
just
say.
Do it.
Why you asking him? Is he going to sell it? Is it his money to buy the kit? No, I don't get that. But what I did ask is when I left Costco, and then it was a decision to be made.
Right.
I said, should I do this? And his response was always there, and I don't believe my husband was totally sold on it, because I had sold something before and it didn't work out well for me. But the more he saw me liking it and being home, and he drives at night, so we get to see each other, I think the more he liked it. And he's very fundamental in my business. He helps me out with vendor events. That's what I would tell these people.
Mm-hmm.
Get your husband. My husband loves the vendor events. He likes to go down there and hang out and talk to the other guys. And yeah, he's very helpful. And yeah, so that's what I would tell them. My husband doesn't want me to, but first I would ask him, why would you ask? But then I would be like, well, you'd be surprised how supportive they are.
Well, and I don't think we can ever knock that and say, why are you asking your husband? Because, that's, I have people that are on our team that are like that are just, every decision they make, they have to talk about it, and that's okay. But the most common questions I get out of men, and the main two objections they have, are how much money is it going to cost me, and how much am I going to have to watch the kids? Which infuriates me for that. But because it's like not babysitting, it's parenting. And so, but you can't really say that to people either. And so you have to kind of tread lightly when you do. But I'll just tell people, like when I first got started, my husband was kind of like, whatever you want to do. But now he loves it because he sees the real perks for the business. And we've traveled all over the world, and we make meaningful income, and we've become debt free. And it's like those things would not have happened without my Pampered Chef business. And so I think I think he'll be pleasantly pleased. And if you earn your first trip, he'll be your best supporter ever.
Exactly.
And let's just make that happen.
Right. Which is why I have that picture of my husband. He's been able to go deep sea fishing twice on 2 different trips. And if my husband could fish 24/7, he would be the happiest man in this world. So once you I always, no, stop, go up to your dad. And once you can take them on a trip, they're hooked for life, literally. But and for some people, it's just an extra $500 a month. Like, that is huge for people. So I think once they can actually see a substantial paycheck too, that is helpful as well. So I try to do the best that I can to get the husbands on board if they are willing to talk to us. So.
Well, and you know, one of the other things I tell people that have kids is I tell them that they can take not all their kids, but a kid with them, depending on how old they are. Because my daughter was 7 when I first started, and she was with me to most all of my parties and helped me with my parties, which was, you know, and it gave us a really strong, great relationship. And I say, you know, your child is just exactly the right age to be able to go with you and can, you know, learn a lot of things about being a good employee, about setting goals, about working with adults, about learning how to cook. So, you know, there are big perks with that as well.
Right.
That's another thing that I sometimes will say.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I don't ever point that out, but I know, I can remember when we had that leadership training with Rory Baden, I think. And he talked about how his mom sold Mary Kay, and he would go with her places, or he'd be with her for team meetings, and how much he learned by watching his mom be a part of that. And, you know, that's one thing, because I have 4 kids that are watching me run my business, and they're learning a lot, and they see me make goals. They see my goals posted up next to me in my office. They see me checking it off when I'm reaching it. They see me working really hard to get what I want to get for our family. So I think that's, you know, a huge
having
thing too.
Amazing kids is one of the great perks that you get out of this, because they do turn out great.
Right. So, and Andy actually, one of my party last Friday night, there ended up being a huge hiccup, and I had to go pick Andy up, and my party was going to be right over by where he was. And if I would have gone to get him and gone back home and then I would have been like a half hour late to my party. So I just showed up at the door, and I'm like, my son's with me. He's really good. And it ended up being such a huge blessing. Like, he was so polite. He was helpful. He was asking questions. But then her 7-year-old son was there and was ecstatic to have this 5th grade boy there to play with him. And at the end of the night, my host is like, that really was a huge blessing that you brought him with. And so
awesome.
It really works out. And it is great that if need be, a child needs to come with you. They usually can kind of help you because they know Pampered Chef pretty well. So anyway.
And kids have the guests eating out of their hand. I mean,
they do.
Like, wow, you know.
Yeah. So, this is the objection that I hate to hear the most, though. So, okay, what else do we have? Okay. So what if the question is not right now? Then they go in your lead book list, and you keep checking in with them. So, you know, you start off asking, well, what's holding you back? Why do you feel now is not the right time? Because you have to know that, so you know how to proceed with them. But then, you know, you could say, okay, if you're not interested in joining right now, would you be interested in hosting a party? And then even sometimes if they have a great party, whether it's a cooking party or it's a virtual party that was happening, you know, you could still even ask them, you know, you still have a kit credit. You had such a great party. You know, I got 3 bookings off of your party, which could be your parties to start. You know, would you reconsider the business? Now, a great example for me was a year ago in January, I had a host. She held a $1,700 virtual party. She had 41 buying guests. And I am like, are you kidding me? You have so many people that love Pampered Chef, and you just had a great party. And I asked her, how did you get all these orders? She's like, I just followed up with them until they put the order in, And I told her that the trip was probably going to be Disney, and she thought about it. And then it just came down to no, I can't do it. She goes, if it's a Disney trip, get back to me. So, you know, it at conference last year when I found out it was Disney, I messaged her right away and, whoops. And I just said, guess what? It's a Disney trip. And she actually is the one that ended up getting my free kit. And she currently is pretty much doing director numbers, but is just trying to get the team of directors. So, you know, that was a year, well, January, and she joined that August 31st then with that free kit. So you got to know their story, and you got to find out about them. And again, why do they want to do it? What's holding them back? You know,
Well,
some people.
One of the other things that I'll sometimes say is, you know, gosh, it's not making a decision saying I'm going to do this for 22 years like April does. It's just doing a handful of shows to try it out and see if it's a good fit for you. And it could just change your life. Mm-hmm. And you'll not know unless you give it a try. Why not try it and see? And if it doesn't, the worst thing that's going to happen to you is your kitchen's got a lot of great, awesome tools in it, and you have some cash in your pocket, and you know, and you'll know.
Right. Those are good words to use. Yeah. If they don't book a show, just ask if you can follow up with them. You know, sometimes when I tell people that say not right now, I say, you know what, I'll just check in with you at the beginning of each month, and I'll just let you know what the recruit special is. Because sometimes it can be that recruit special that will just get them too. Like, oh, I kind of like that. I could give it a try this month or something. And most of them say, yeah, that would be great if you do that. Add to a Thinking About Pampered Chef Facebook group. Oh, so I work with a few other directors, and we have a Facebook group called A Pampering Opportunity. And we have team members in there. We have potential, you know, people here that are thinking about Pampered Chef but haven't joined yet. And we just leave them in there. I mean, it's up to them if they want to remove themselves from them. But then, like, I'm going to do a Pampering Opportunity event on Sunday night, just because it's a great recruit special. And I have some team members that have some leads that are thinking about it. And so this is somewhere, and then we keep people in there. So like a few times this month, I've already posted, hey, you guys, the Quick Cookers and the $109 kit. This is a great month to think about doing Pampered Chef, because the group is full of people that at one point were, good night, honey, I love you, that were interested in the business. Mm-hmm. And if they haven't taken themselves out of the group yet, I love you. Thank you. If they haven't taken themselves out of the group yet, they hopefully are probably still interested in the business. So I think it's great having that little group that you can just post in once or twice a month, or do your opportunity events or whatever.
What do you call yours?
We call it a Pampering Opportunity.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And do you do your events in that, or do you do them in something else? In that?
Yep. So kind of what we do, you know, like I'm going to run one Sunday, so I'll go through and delete the posts that we've done before. But then we have a post in there that kind of shares each director's story. So I just leave that so people can scroll through and kind of read about our stories, except we probably all need to update them. And then I just have my outline on Scent Share, and I just switch it up with the monthly specials, and then just do an hour Pampering Opportunity. And yeah, so it's been nice. And not every director participates every time, but their peeps are in there, and if they decide they want to join, then they just get a hold of the director or whoever invited them to the group.
Do you go live in it too?
I haven't, but I might. I should go live in it. Yeah.
Nicole and I've done some together where we take turns where one of us will go live and the other one answers questions.
Yeah.
And that's worked out pretty good. So
yeah,
we need to do one this month.
Doing live rather than posting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would be more up to that.
But it's really kind of neat. And then, you know, that way you can, people see that you're a real person kind of thing. But
right.
I guess if you're recruiting a lot of virtual people, that probably doing it, posting it is probably good too.
Right. And I obviously don't mind going live, as you guys know. I like being able to talk and share stories, and I like conversing.
What Jennifer is in here right now? Jennifer Day, is that you? Who's Jennifer?
Okay, I'm going to stop the sharing.
The reason I want to ask is, Jennifer, hello? Come off mute, whoever you are. because I have a Jennifer Day that's just barely out of her first 30 days, and she sent her third recruit today. She's got a fourth one signing, and her recruit today just signed up somebody.
Awesome. Fast
Now
track
I was to get her to
director.
tell us what she's doing, because she's doing something amazing.
Right.
So Jennifer, is this you? I don't know. I'll have to get her to do something for us and see. Yeah, holy cow is right.
I
But
have a
she's
few
like
Jennifers
so
on
close
my
to
team.
directorship, she can touch it.
I have a few right there too. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
like promote.
So anyway, really, really
That's
exciting though.
awesome.
But she's just asking everybody and talking to people at her parties, and so she's doing really awesome.
Yeah, I would love to hear how she's doing that.
Yeah, me too.
So that's kind of what I have.
That's awesome. Do you recruit a lot of your virtual people, or mostly at cooking?
April, I really don't know how I recruit. I think a lot of mine, I don't really know. I don't know. I wish I knew. I think a lot of mine come more from conversations. I've randomly had people just message me and say, "Hey, Molly, I've kind of been thinking about this for a while." People that shock me that I have no idea about.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor that I shared on here, she was a host. Michelle obviously was a host. I kind of just watch and listen. And I'll be honest, I don't ask every single person. And I heard Nancy Jo doesn't either, and then that made me feel a lot better as well. But I did not recruit 800 people in my organization in March like she did.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't do it, but her whole team. I'm more of I watch on Facebook. I watch, people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm probably not the greatest spokesperson for this. So,
well, Janelle, what's the magic behind
Janelle's really good.
I believe that it's really what you, not what you ask, but what you hear from someone. A lot of times what they're saying to you, you have to listen between the lines of what they're saying and understand exactly. I get a lot of my people, I actually hunt them on Facebook. I hunt people constantly. It's part of the game. I get as many in virtual as I do in person. If I can get in a vendor event, that sometimes is easier for me, but I literally go on Facebook and look for them in different groups. I have groups of celiac people that are looking for recipes and looking for part-time jobs that they can work from home because they're sick. I have people that are about ready to retire from their jobs and are looking for this transition. I have someone I can hear over here that's posting every single day how much they hate their job. That's a group on their own. I have like 400 of them. I just left that company. They're all on there. So
you're looking for these groups of people that have a common theme?
Yeah, pretty much. What I'm hearing is that they want a different job, and people that have celiacs or Crohn's disease or have autoimmune are looking to stay home, where it's easier. People with kids, I'm hearing, where's a cheap place? On moms groups are a good place to go.
Mm-hmm. I've gotten a lot of recruits from moms groups.
Out of moms groups, I had one girl basically that was looking for boxes, and when she came by to get boxes from me, I handed her a card and a catalog, and I am pretty sure she's signing by the end of the month. I built a relationship with her over about 6 months, watched her take up a jewelry sales thing, and supported her. And then when it came time, then I talked to her about the opportunity of Pampered Chef because she didn't have to carry an inventory. She still, a lot of times in moms groups are asking, I can't put 2 kids in daycare. I'm working a minimum wage job. And my response to that is, hey, have you ever thought about selling something from home? You know, and then about 30 people jump on them. So first I friend them first before that. You know, I'm a smaller town. Billings, kind of somehow if I'm looking on a group within Billings, I know someone from that knows that mutual friend. Look for the mutual friends, you know. Look for the girl that's, oh, I just got married and I have no idea where to start with my registry. That's another one, you know, bride places. Mostly it's really what people are saying about their lives that we really need.
Do you spend a lot of time on Facebook?
No. In fact, I have to make myself go into the front of Facebook. You know, I really do. I never post to my own page, and I have to make myself, it's in my schedule, post picture to face my birthday last night. And it's all about posting with a purpose. I don't go on Facebook a lot. I don't do a lot of posting. But when I do post something, I get a lot of followers from a different group, you know, or from different groups. And those are the ones I look at. It just basically is where it is. It's what you're looking for, you know, someone who just really needs help. Someone struggling. That's my dog. She's got some pointers too.
Yeah, she wants to sell too, so she's mad that she didn't answer.
She really does. You know, I mean, just common links. Look for common bonds on what you're looking at people and talking to, but get yourself out of your own groups.
Yeah.
That you're already friends with. We've used up all them. None of my family would ever have a party for me, so I had to go. I call it hunting. That's what I'll tell them. I'm hunting.
It's so funny when she messages me.
People remodeling their kitchens. I got one of them too. Yeah, remodels. You know, so yeah.
So Jennifer texted me back. She had internet problems and had to get off. And I asked her if she could call in. And she said that her kids had just gotten home and she couldn't get on, but she will talk to us at a future time. She just said she shares her why and that it gets a lot of interest. So she talks about she's got a bunch of kids and, you know, so she's going to share with us later.
Awesome.
So anyway.
So that's kind of all I had.
That's awesome. You did a great job. We appreciate you.
Thanks
so much. So anyway, and next week, I'm looking for my sheet of paper. There it is right there. Excuse me, y'all. I'm going to reach and grab it. So next week is systems to keep you organized. And that is a laugh that I'm even on that part. But we'll come up with something, right, Kara? So, and Kara's distracted too. So, but anyway, she and I are going to talk about systems to help keep organized. And I think she actually has a lot of systems. So if y'all have something that works well for you, I would really like to know it so that we'll let you talk about your thing. We'll just do a lot of sharing. Hey, Kara, we're doing systems to keep you organized and that it's hysterical that I'm even helping with that part. So anyway, but I will find some great systems that other people have and share those with you. So, I mean, I actually have some things on the ball because I'm always an elite seller and not willing to do less than $6,000 a month, and you know, so earn all the credit.
You don't listen to me because I'm not.
But organization leaves something to be desired on this end over here, and then coaching to success, get new recruits started. And Kara, we have you down for that. But if I've given you such a workout lately that if you want to pass that on to me or somebody else, we can do that too. So
I've already been kind of working on it, and I've got 2 new recruits in the process right now, so it kind of just fits with what's going on. So
that is great. That's why she's muted herself tonight, because she's been doing new consultant training. So way to be on the ball. So that's awesome. And so that's what we got next week. And then the last week is going to be keeping your momentum and tips from top recruiters. So all of us will be sharing our best stuff with y'all that things we haven't talked about yet. So that's what we'll come up with for that. And then we're rolling after that. After the 5th of June, we're going to switch over to Sunday nights, which will start on June the 9th. And we are in the process of lining up speakers right now. I don't have any yet, but I'm ready to start reaching out and doing that. So our director group will be asking all of our buddies that are really great in the company. And we heard about I can't remember who said, Kara, maybe you posted, that somebody is doing, one of our Pampered Chef buddies is doing a training thing where they're having a senior consultant do a thing and then a
Karen
leader.
Josephus is doing it.
Yeah.
I think
But
Natalie
like a
posted
senior
it.
consultant, a team leader, a director, an advanced director, and so forth, so that we have people at different levels talking about their, successes and how they got there and what works out of that. I guess that's what she's doing. So anyway, so I think that's a good
The girl
idea.
today would make a great I'm sorry, Molly. Who was that today?
Oh, it was Cammie Cruz.
Cammie
It'd be
Cruz.
hard for us to get her. We could try.
Virtual parties a week.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Well, we can
get her as a speaker.
Well, we can at least share the home office direct video probably.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one because she is got to have a system down, and she is how is she booking 13, and she's pulling them all out of virtual. All her recruits, all her bookings are coming out of virtual. So
She still does a couple of cooking shows.
There are a lot of really good home office calls that we've had lately and other director calls that we've had lately that I've been posting the ones that I could. Did anybody watch the one that Nancy Jo Ryan did that I just posted a couple of days ago? There was something I posted, or actually she did, it was Coffee Talk. And I posted something else that she had done.
Yeah, I watched that.
Earning the Trip, but the Coffee Talk, if you've not listened to that, oh, that was so amazing. It was just from this last Saturday, so you could call the
I need to listen to it.
And hit the pound. It's fantastic. Really, really, really awesome. And I got so much out of it. And then there was another one that I just shared a couple of days ago that was a girl who is doing, that Robin Schilling had posted. It was yesterday.
Sarah.
A girl that's doing like mega virtual parties. Pam, did you see that? You need to look that up because she runs like 4 to 7 virtual parties in the same party.
I'm doing one. I'm starting one Saturday.
Do what? You're doing one?
I'm starting one Saturday.
I'm ready to start one after hearing it. It's like, I mean, if you don't have to, it's going to decrease your likelihood of going in Facebook jail, which is great. And you only have to enter in one party, but you still get, 4 to 6, 7 parties going at the same time. And if some of them are duds, they're still getting participation from other people. I just think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So y'all go in and listen to it if you have not, because I think you'll get a lot out of it. So I would just say, go grab that because it's really, really good. So
awesome.
Anyway, and Pam says, thanks, Molly. So, and thank you.
You're welcome,
Molly.
Pam.
We appreciate you doing it tonight. We appreciate it very much. And we'll have, like I said, 2 more weeks, and then we'll jump into having some superstars talk to us as well, which will be really neat. And I think Kara suggested that we not just have superstars, but maybe some people that had some challenges and roadblocks along the way that actually came back to be very successful. And so, that's always a good thing to do too. So we've got folks we can ask for that as well. So we'll get on it and get some awesome people on for y'all to be able to listen to. But if you guys would go out to, like Pam, if you'll go on our team page and just talk about how much you've learned being on here and how people need to be in here, and maybe we can get more people to come in here. And even the people that are on this group, post on this group too, because we need people to be participating more with this, because we're down to, tonight we've got all directors except Pam. Pam, thank you. You're awesome.
Thanks, Pam.
In fact, why don't you just go ahead and become a director? That'd just be good, right? So let's just do it. She says, I wish.
Don't have to wish. You can do it.
Awesome. So,
okay.
All right. So y'all have a great night. Thank you again, Molly. Thank you, Kara,
for
doing the recording, and we will shut her down. So,
all right, you guys have a good one.
Thanks, you guys.
We'll see you next week. Okay.
Bye.
Oh, yay, Pam, getting your necklace. Yay.